Hey guys, Young 40 Mom. It is Tag or Tutorial Tuesday. I'm going to keep doing the tags until we run out, unless I have a tutorial in between. I was hoping I'd get my card reader by today. Hopefully I'll get it by tomorrow, because I do have several book reviews that I want to load up for you. If not, we will continue to use this camera. Let's see. I'm going to do Cyndi's Unnormal tag first. And if I have time, I'm going to do a couple of another tag. Okay, so I did want to show you something real quick. I finally broke down, well no, I think I'll save that. Okay, so let me turn you around and so you can see my face. We'll pause. Okay, I probably look washed out. I notice I have a habit of touching my face a lot. Okay, so Fishy Craft, rather Stitchy Fish is what she calls herself. It's Cyndi. Hi Cyndi. I think you watch my videos. I hope you watch my videos. I'm eclectic. I'm all over the place. Well, I stick with crafting, but I do a lot of stuff in the crafting community. I don't stick with just cross stitch. So, but anything, the majority of what I do, the only tags I do are cross stitch. The only, I'm gonna say the only stash, but my main stash is cross stitch. I won't be buying any more crochet stuff anytime soon, and let me show you why. I'm not going to open the tubs because yeah, you're just going to have to see what I make when I open the tub, when I make the stuff that's in the tubs. I'm working on my cupcake toppers right now. Went and did laundry at the laundromat. I procrastinate when it comes to laundry because my wash machine tore up. My dryer isn't drying very well, so I'll wait 3 or 4 weeks and then I just load the car up and go to the laundromat, get it all done in one shot. So let me show you why I'm not buying any more crochet supplies probably for the next couple years, and I am not kidding. So let me show you. Okay, so you see that bottom tub? That is I want to say a 40 gallon or 50 gallon tub. It is huge. I don't think the camera does it justice. Okay, so that bottom tub is full of yarn. I mean, packed. That second tub is full of yarn, packed, and then of course I got my little carry-all there. That third one is full of yarn. That top one is full of all my cotton yarn, and then I've got a box up there, and then I've got some spools. Every bit of that is my yarn stash. I would like to be able to put them out on shelves, but it would go to the ceiling if I did it that way. Those are packing boxes behind it. I had planned on possibly moving a few years back and decided just to hang on to the boxes because you never know. And then down here underneath my desk, there's my beads and my buttons. This tub, let's see if it's going to focus in. No, it's not. Yep, my little white legs. This tub has got some yarn in it. It's got my my thread yarn. And when I say thread yarn, I mean like this, which I'm thinking about maybe doing some cross stitch with it. I'll let you guys know what it's like. Probably some black work cross stitch. And then this tub, I don't know if you can see inside of it or not. It's blurry again. Just trying to focus. There it goes. That has my 99 squares, granny squares that I was going to do. I've got one of each to show you. I am going to do tutorials on that. I promise I am. Those of you who are interested in the crochet community. But anyway, that bottom tub that I was showing you, that has, let me turn you back around, sorry. So that has plarn balls, and if you don't know what plarn is, it is plastic bags turned into a type of yarn, or rather it's string, that you crochet with and do repurpose bags. I've got, I think I only have one listed on my Etsy shop. I've just been making them and giving them away because it's summertime and people want beach bags. So they're great. And they hold together, and they're great for, like, if you have an Aldi's where you have to bag your own groceries. They're perfect for that too. And they are forgiving, and they do expand. Where's my sheet? Okay. Alright, so we're going to do Cyndi's Unnormal tag. And the first question is what is the strangest place you have ever stitched? Has to be the laundromat. I can't think of any other place that would be strange. I think I'm going to set you down. Oh, and I think you can see me good. I hope you can see me good. Maybe you're chopped off my head. I don't know. I'm hoping you can see me good. I can't really tell with this camera. That's why I'm liking the new camera, because I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, the only unnormal, I mean, I've crocheted at doctor's office or cross-stitched at the doctor's office. But yeah, the laundromat, I think. And then it's not really strange. I do get a lot of people that come up to me and ask me what I'm doing. Want to know what I'm making, where I got the pattern, that type of thing, which is kind of fun. Number 2, what is your next favorite hobby? Well, duh. I think I already answered that one. Crochet. Yeah, and singing. I know, it's so tempting to do a singing video now that, why do I always forget her name? Oh, Annie. Annie. No. Yes? Annie? Anyway, that's terrible. It's Annie. She did Whitney Houston, a little clip. Singing would be my other hobby other than crochet. They go hand in hand. And the reason why I said that was before I had my daughter, before I got pregnant, and in fact, how I met my second husband, he used to come and listen to me sing. I used to run the karaoke circuit here in town. Well, not run the circuit. I worked at a couple of local bars 4 nights a week. Supplemental income. Good money. 4 nights a week. So I sang 4 nights a week. I ran the karaoke. I did that for right at about 3.5 years, I think. Yeah, anywhere from 3 to 5 nights a week for 3.5, 4 years. It was fun. I got a lot of good friends out of it. Obviously, I got a husband and a baby out of it. So yeah, that was my passion, was singing. So there's that one. Next question. Do you smoke or not smoke? I do not smoke now. I think I mentioned it on my Know Your Needleworker tag last year. I quit smoking in 1999. If I had not quit smoking, I probably would end up with emphysema or dead right now. It was so bad. My coughing had gotten so bad that it would make me throw up. I'm sorry to be so graphic. I would gag. You could hear me on videos when I would film, because I was the family filmer in videos. I'm sorry, I'm looking outside the window at the wasps. You could hear me. It was really bad. You could hear me breathing. I couldn't breathe. It was bad. I had to do something. And that was where I had cross-stitch. Cross-stitch saved my life. I think I mentioned that in some of my other videos as well. Because the hand-to-mouth, that was what I had, I think, the worst problem with. My husband at the time, my first husband, was in the military. So the military paid for smoking sessions, and they paid for the patch. And I slowly weaned myself off of the patch and went to a couple more smoking sessions. They help you cope. Because it is it's harder than you think it is to quit smoking. Those of you that have quit smoking, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who have tried to quit and can't, you know what I'm talking about. It's really hard. So 16 years, I'm smoke-free, so there's that. If you have any questions for me, ooh, I shook the camera and it oh, sorry about that. If you have any questions for me, leave a comment in the comments below, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. If you have any questions about whether it be the patch, the military, what I did to quit smoking, and how cross-stitch saved my life, please feel free to comment. Number 4, what is your favorite social media to show your stitching on? It used to be Facebook, now it's Instagram. I like the Instagram, and I know a lot of you do too. Point and shoot. Send it up, and it's just so much easier. Not only that, but you can also, the one thing I'm liking about the Instagram is that you can send it up on the other medias. You don't have to limit it to just Instagram. So if you wanted to share it with your Facebook and your Twitter and your Flickr, is it Flickr? Yeah, there's like 6 different venues that you can share it on. Pinterest, I think, is one. Maybe not. But anyway, so that's what I do. Sorry, I have to gloss myself. I have these little gloss things all over the house because my lips get so chapped and dry. I don't wear makeup nearly as much as I used to, but I am constantly lipping myself. It's a new word. We are lipping ourselves. Okay. Do you model stitch, or have you ever? If you guys get a chance, go watch Organic Granny, Lori's video on where she answers the unnormal tags. It's very fascinating. I love that, Lori. Thank you for sharing. And she explains how she did it. She actually explains it a lot in detail too. I don't think I've ever known anybody, or I really don't know Lori, but even though she's in my backyard, her explanation is fascinating. No, I have not. The only model stitching I've ever done, or my own patterns for my shop to model stitch, and I'd welcome anybody that would like to model stitch for me. Just message me, young40mom@gmail.com. I do have quite a few patterns. I can't stitch them. I create them quicker than I stitch them. So, because some of them are going to take several months to do because they've got a lot of confetti, or they're very detailed. But personally, other than my own, I have not model stitched. But I think it would be fascinating. Like I said, go look at Organic Granny's, the way she explained what her and her mother did. I just think it's amazing doing that. Wash or no wash? That's number 6. I do wash. I have not done any beading, so everything that I've done has been with DMC flosses, or JP Coats or Anchor over the past years. I've always washed. I towel dry. That is where you wash it in mild detergent. So I use dish detergent, mild dish detergent. And then instead of wringing it out, which is what I did when I was younger, it is so hard to get the ironed wrinkles out if you do that, guys. Don't ever wring it out and try to iron it, because it's a pain. It's so hard. But what I do is I lay it out flat on a towel and roll it up and then let it sit to soak up a little bit. And then while it's still moist, I'll go ahead and turn it over on the back and I'll iron it with a dry towel underneath. And then I have flipped it over. Excuse me. I have flipped it over and taken parchment paper and ironed the top of it with parchment paper, just in case I didn't want my iron to maybe catch on the stitches or anything like that. But that's how I do mine. Number 7, if you use a digital program, which do you use? I do not use a digital program for my patterns. I'm a printer. I'm a copier. I'm a copy and a working copy gal. I will print it out. I keep it on digital programs. I'm sorry. I have my digital patterns on a thumb drive. The ones that I've downloaded and purchased over the years. And places that have the free patterns as well. But I'll print it out and do a working copy, and I hang on to my patterns forever, the digital ones. But I go ahead and I do not use it for, I do not use a digital program to mark off, to count. I have downloaded a couple of them and looked at possibly doing it, but I'm so used to having, I don't know if I can, okay, let me show you. This is my insect sampler that I'm supposed to be working on for the stitch along and cross stitch. It's fun. It's so pretty and I can't wait. I printed out a working copy. I pinned my fabric where I'm supposed to start. I have not started, but anyway, so what I wanted to show you was, if I have my working copy, I don't want to get it out because then you'll see the pattern, but I stitch in hand, and what I do is I will take this hand and I will hold the pattern with my thumb. I have it folded usually, and I stitch one-handed. I've tried to stitch two-handed, but to me I do it just as easily, just as quick, because my left hand doesn't want to function properly. It just doesn't want to cooperate. So it's my holder. It's my, or I'll use it in the back to guide. I also will take, I don't have a clip in my hair, I'll also take one of my hair clips and clip the pattern on the edge of my Q-snap or my my hoop, and then I just clip the pattern on there, and then that way I can use my hand as a guide back here when I'm stitching. But anyway, that's what I do. I do a working copy and instead of a digital program. I do use a digital program to keep track of my floss, to know what I have, what I need. It's called the Cross Stitch Calculator. It is free on the Play Store, and I believe Amazon has it for Android for the App Store, but it is called the Cross Stitch Calculator, and I do use that to keep track. So anytime I get new floss, because it has all of it, it's got the week's dye work, it's got everything, it's got Mooho beads, it's got all of it, and then you just select, you type in the number of what it is, and then you click on how many you have on hand, and then it can give you a summary. So I do that. Number 8, what do you do with your finished project? There is a box in this closet over here. One of those awesome deals that I got at Michael's a few months back. And I lay them out flat. That's what I've been doing with them lately. In the past, I have framed a couple. I have one on my door, the Stitch Mania one that I made on my door. I have some framed in my bedroom. I've given them away. In fact, the portrait I did of my niece, I'm supposed to give to my sister once I get it framed. That was done several years ago. I'm so bad. Alright, so that's what I do with my finished projects for now. I was going to go ahead and do Joanne B's Tool Time tag because I've got some great tools, but I did it, I started doing it in pieces because of all the details that I gave on my 5 favorite tools. So I'm going to wait till I get my card reader. Like I said, it should come today. So let's go ahead and do Sonja's The Joy of Cross Stitch tag. That would be Cat Crazy Creations. Number 1. How did you learn to stitch? I think I've talked about this previously. I'll just give you a brief rundown. I was in elementary school. I was in the 5th grade. We had just moved to Tennessee from South Carolina. Hello, all you Gamecock fans. And Clemson. But Gamecock, I was from Columbia. Anyway, we had just moved up here, and they were offering to do a little extracurricular craft time at the school. I was 11 years old, and I did a little cross ornament, and that was my first taste of cross stitch. And when my mom saw that I did that, she went nuts. There used to be, you know how you have Tupperware parties, I think they still have them, or they have 31, which is a handbag company, or there's a couple of other interior, what is it called, where it's an interior, oh shoot, home interior, I can't think of the name of it. Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, it was a home party. But back then, this was like in 78, 79, 78. They used to do home parties for crafting, and they would show kits that were done, and they would bring it to your home and they demonstrate it, and then you would place your order. And I got stretcher bars. My mother just went nuts, and she got me like 7 or 8 kits. Mostly needlepoint on canvas. Some were cross stitch, but they weren't counted cross stitch. Counted cross stitch wasn't as big back then. It was usually prints. So yeah, that's how I got started. Number 2, have you ever taught anyone how to stitch? Yes. I've taught everybody and their brother how to crochet. I've tried to teach my daughter how to cross stitch. I taught the soon-to-be ex-husband how to cross stitch. It helps with his anger management. He has never completed any works, but he's pretty good. I'm impressed. He comes up with all these different images and he'll send them to me and he'll say, you know, can you do this? Can you do this? And then he's working on one right now, a picture of, it's really adorable, him and my daughter when she was a baby. So yeah, I think him and my daughter are the only two that I've actually taught how to cross stitch. Because the majority of people that I run into either don't want to know, think it's too hard, and I'm like, you know, it's not, it's so much fun, especially when you see your progression as you go, you know what I mean. But anyway, so yeah, that's the only two. But crochet, yeah, we want to go there. I can't even count how many people I've taught how to crochet. Number 3, when you stitch, do you like to watch TV, listen to music, or just have quiet? I like having quiet only when I read. That's it. I've got to have the radio on, the TV on, some noise, I think, in the background. And my daughter usually has her games on if she's playing, so that's my sounding. If I'm stitching in the living room, my daughter's usually playing her video game, so that's my sound. Or I'll put my earbuds in with my tablet and listen to either Flosstube or Showbox or Netflix. But if it's late at night, I'll put my my little easel with my tablet on it on my chest and lay in the bed and fall asleep to Flosstube. But while I'm stitching, I never really listen to music while I'm stitching unless I'm in the car. But I don't really stitch in the car. Okay, number 4. When you use a kit, which company or companies do you like the best? Using a kit, I think the only kits I've ever done are Dimensions, except for that Jan Lin that I really didn't care too much for. The majority of the stuff I kit up myself, but yeah, any kits I've ever done have only been Dimensions. And these were older kits, and I really don't have a problem with them. So the Dimension Gold, I like those. Yeah, so I think that's it. That's the only ones I've ever done. What are your favorite designs to stitch? I like butterflies. I'm starting to like anything animals. I love doing animals. Portraits. I've been doing a lot of portraits lately. But my favorite, my Garfields. My Garfields are my favorite because he is so whimsical. And he's so much fun. And I love his attitude. And I just love the way he, and it was like, nonchalant. Just goes through life. Whatever. You know? So yeah, I like my Garfields. That's my favorite design to stitch is my Garfields. I like natural cutesy. I love, like I said, I love butterflies. I like the mythical stuff, but I'm very particular about the mythical stuff. It has to be something that I know I would want to put on my wall. Yeah. Let's see, number 6. How do you get ideas or inspiration for your projects? It's funny. Listening to you guys. Also, I will do a search on Pinterest or Etsy. And I'll get ideas there. I'll see something and go, oh, that's awesome. I can do that, or I want to do that, or oh, I know I can do this because of that. So yeah, mostly Pinterest, I'd say, and nature. Going out, especially when it comes to photography. I'm the kind of person, since I'm always the driver, I'm the kind of person that if I go out like I'm looking at my backyard now. If I go out and look at the yard, or if I go out and if I'm with my daughter and we see something, I observe everything around me and get inspiration from that as well. Just the scenery, the little wild animals that are running around. We've got some guineas that like to play around a sunflower field up the road, which it just is so cute, and it's like I want to do something about that. Number 7, how do you store or keep your charts? I have a bookcase over here, a small bookcase that I usually keep my charts in. If they are a charted kit, they go in a tub over here. Right now, the charts that I am currently working on, I have in my green tote that I've showed you before, and then I have my whip bag down here from Stitch Mania, and then I have a couple of projects over here that I've got just laying there. But yeah, everything is in here. It's just in other various places. Number 8, do you stitch for yourself or to give to others? Both. The majority is to give to others. I do have a few pieces of my own here. All my Garfields will be kept. They're all mine. Because there's not that many of them. As far as like giving to the others, yeah, that's the majority. I like it. Only, not everybody gets it though. Because if you know as well as I do, when you take the time to stitch something, you're stitching with your heart. You're sweating bright. I mean, you're excited while you're doing it. You're enjoying it while you're doing it. And so we feel the love and the joy when we give it to somebody, but we also know that we want to give it to somebody who's going to appreciate it as much as, maybe not as much as us, because we're going to appreciate it more because we did it. But if you can touch somebody's heart with a saying or a character or something that you know that they're going to like and they're going to appreciate, that makes it all worth it. It is very heartbreaking when you give something to someone and then you realize when the look on their faces, they were like, oh, thanks. You know, that hurts. That really hurts. Because you want them to love it as much as you do. That's not always the case. But yeah, I like giving. I like the gift of giving. I like the idea of what Cyndi's doing. And I have to keep reminding myself she's not Fishy Crafts anymore. She is Stitchy Fish. Yes. Her finished project, she said she had in a box that she was going to be giving away to bazaars to raise money. I like that idea. That's really good. Number 9, when you take your cross-stitch projects to the car, to appointments, or traveling, how do you carry all your supplies? I have a little bag. This one has crochet in it right now, but I have 2 of these. I got one every year. This is 2012. I got one for 2011. I don't know if you can see that. But that's Maddie, and it's a little tote bag. So I keep my needles and odd threads and my scissors and things in here, and then I keep my project in here. Right now I've got a crochet project in there. But I keep my when I cross stitch, I keep them in one of these. I have 2 of these, one for cross stitch and one for crochet. But that's what I'm sorry, I'm bursitis. Yep. That does not feel good. Okay. Number 10. What do you enjoy most about stitching? Well, again, like teaching the X, it's very therapeutic to me. You can get lost in your thoughts. You can also get lost in what you're listening to and just fade away. You can just envelop in what you're doing and just, that's what I enjoy about it. So yeah, okay, so we did 2 of the tags. We did Sonja's, which is Cat Crazy Creations, and we did Cyndi's Unnormal tag. So there you go. I'm going to get this up. Thank you for watching. Awesome. I just bumped the camera again. I've got it propped up on a box on my craft table. sorry. So yeah, so we're over 600 subscribers. That's amazing. I can remember, was it around October or November, I was pushing for 100 for a giveaway. But oh, I am still going to do the giveaway at the first of every month. I do have it ready to go. I've just got to get it loaded up. And then something special going on in my shop for the whole month of August to celebrate my birthday. And I will explain all that. I think I'm going to do all that Friday on the 31st because it's going to kick off Saturday the 1st. It is going to run for the whole month of August, and it's pretty cool. I've got quite a few new patterns I'm going to put up on the 1st. And then the contest will start on the 1st, and then the huge discount that I'm giving for my entire shop and everything on my Facebook shop. Yes.